it does look like we are getting into the lobby for the next game. It looks like Divination once again being given the map pick or taking the map pick. They have taken us to Towers of Doom. This is my favorite map to end a series on. It is almost always the most exciting map in a series.
1000% with you. Actually, when I cast with Cat Peach, her and I always get excited. In even when we do, I think is that we've done other things where we get to choose the maps, and we'll be like, all right, so it's 2 best of 2s. Game 2 for this second matchup is going to be Towers of Doom, because that's how you end a series. I mean, you can't rush the core. You can out macro the team, you can outfight them, but you can't rush the core, and that's the big thing. So it allows different strategies to be played here. And global aspect, we could see Lost Vikings. This is a highly prioritized map for them. I guess highly prioritized isn't the right word, but I think it's understood what I'm getting at.
And we saw them last night. Who I can't try to remember who played it.
Last night, let me look. I got the bracket. Was it not Divination versus Firm Handshake? Or was it?
I want to say it was Reborn
versus TLR.
TLR.
That sounds right. That does sound right.
I feel like they took us to game 3 there as well.
We could always check on Master League, because I do believe they have all of that convenient information for us here. And really quickly, while we're kind of getting this ready, I don't know if you have the mainstream open. Did you see how that Volsky Foundry game just went?
Yeah, actually, spoiler alert for everyone in chat. Reborn actually just 2-0'd Necro Dancers. So that's actually Reborn going to the next round. So winner of this game will be facing Reborn in the loser finals.
Oh, is it going to be Divination or Freebirds? That's the big question.
Yeah, and both of these teams want it. Freebirds holding that second seed pretty much all season. Divination making that final run these last 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of the Open Division. Both of these teams want their shot in the Crucible. But it is Towers of the Doom. Freebirds kicking us off once again with a Diablo ban. Do not want to see the Lord of Terror. I guess you could say they're scared.
I got good news for you. I quickly went over to Master League, and Divination actually was the one to play Lost Vikings on this map last night against Firm Handshake and won with it.
I think we confirmed on Twitter last night that is the darkest timeline.
The best timeline! Sorry for your headphones. But that is going to be a Sergeant Amber being banned out here. Dunk, can you give us a little prep about this map?
Yeah, so Towers of the Doom is a unique map in the entire MOBA genre. You can no longer attack the core directly. You actually compete over point control of these altars. When channeled, they will directly attack the core. The core actually only has 40 HP. Sounds easy enough. Depending on the amount of bell towers you have owned, and you can consistently take them back or take them away from the opposing. Wow, first pick Lost Vikings. Sorry, I just had to breathe out real quick. That was insane. With a Deckard as well. Oh my. As I was saying though, this map is all about controlling the macro, because you want to be able to channel these as uncontested as possible and get as much face damage to the enemy's core as possible. This is basically, if you've ever played Hearthstone, this is the Smork map. Everyone just goes straight face.
Now, looking at this draft while we're getting into our second ban phase here, we are going to be having the Maya first pick. That was consistently banned out here, and we have different bans coming out in the start here. Actually, the only difference is the Sergeant Hammer being banned out rather than the Maya. That's going to go over to Firm Handshake, but it's a first pick Lost Vikings. I'm a little worried about this, I'm not going to lie, because they should be taking out Zeratul or Tracer here, someone who can really benefit from killing Vikings over and over again. And it's actually going to be the Nubrak. They don't want to worry about the Cocoon.
Maybe they're thinking about taking the Zeratul and ganking people who try to gank Lost Vikings. The reverse gank.
That would be. But then I don't know. I'm a little worried about that, mostly because it's highly dependent on it and on being an executionary team. You need to be able to get those kills. And Divination, yes, looking strong in game 1. Game 2, I don't know if they'd be able to get into that backline and get the blow up that they'd be looking for, at least the way that Firm Handshake played, or excuse me, Freebirds played map number 2 there.
Maybe Freebirds knows a little bit more about this draft than we do. We're looking at a Zarya ban. A very unusual ban here. Trying to figure out exactly what that's for. maybe what Divination's doing. We are going to see the Greymane and the Murden, already rounding out their 4-man squad. For those of you that have never played with a Viking, don't really understand the Vikings pick, the general strategy is that you stack a very strong 4-man and let the Vikings soak the opposite lanes, allowing your 4-man to beat out whatever 3-stack or 2-stack, depending on how Freebirds plays it, enabling them some easy towers, maybe some forts. And on a map where how you damage the core is how many forts you control, I really like the Viking pick here.
Macro control is great, and I was just thinking this to myself. I was just like, they got a Decker, they got a Greymane Murden, and I was like, Jaina would be perfect. Poke, great setup, great follow-up. It allows the Greymane and the Murden to chase a little bit deeper and get those follow-up kills with that slow overall, and then Deckard with the slow as well. Overall, between these two teams, I mean, we didn't talk much about Freebird's draft. I mean, Maiev, yes, insanely powerful. Raynor is really going to amplify the damage from the backline, but it's the Garrosh. That's the thing that I'm really worried about, the displacement. If they can walk forward and get someone like Jaina or Decker Kane out of position, it might be good night for them with a Maiev and a Raynor.
Yeah, and it's important to remember Garrosh very good at comboing off of the Maiev. Maiev goes in, gets the hook, walks away, gets the pullback with that Umbral Bind. Garrosh just steps a little bit farther forward and flips you even farther. So got to be on the lookout for how they burst people down. But with that being said, it is only a Raynor and Whitemane follow-up at this time. They're a little lacking in the damage department, or the burst department, that is. So they're really going to see how they make that happen.
Not the biggest burst right off the bat, but let's go ahead and get into this. Game number 3 between these two teams. Freebirds up 1 game, trying to make it 2. We have Caesar Salad on the Whitemane. We are going to be having Diesel on the Garrosh, Fancy Pants on the Blaze, How going to be on the Maiev, and Unaverted on the Raynor. And
once again, on the red side, we do have Divination. Noah playing Jaina, Mystically is on the Murden, Big playing the Lost Vikings, Wolf playing Deckard, and Liam playing Greymane. Anyone that's new to the cast, Eric the Swift the Brave is the key to victory here. How well he is played. He is the Swift. He is the brave one. Okay,
we will have the start of this match. No one really going for that mid lane brawl, as in game 2 they were just like, Divination was like, no, we'll just go ahead and soak lanes. We don't need to worry about this. And I think they took a note from that on the side of Freebirds, and they were like, all right, we'll just go ahead and rotate ourselves into our bottom lane, and we'll see what we do about these Vikings, as looks like they've already spread themselves out. They'll do a 2 Viking in top and a 1 Viking in mid.
And Divination kind of hiding, just kind of, they're not pushing down this lane. They're going to set up, it looks like, and clear mid. I thought kind of we were going to see a Bushwookie game, try and see if they can't make something funny happen. This is still early game, so low health pools. When you have that burst of Greymane and Jaina, that is extremely deadly. But we are just going to see them go ahead and posture for this camp, get set up right away.
Yeah, both teams actually going to go ahead and almost simultaneously pick up these camps, as they'll want to feed these into the bottom lane. We really quickly just want to note on the Vikings, I mean, we have Big is going to be playing those, putting, once again, just still soaking these up. It's actually a little bit of a different setup that we often see with the Vikings, but we'll see how it works out for them. And they will continue to get soaked, as Blaze, I think, is just going to be doing a solo rotation between these lanes while they 4v4 in bottom.
Yeah, and luckily for him, the Vikings are not the fastest player. Noah actually self-dropping the Blizzard in anticipation of the Maiev there, but Halloween playing his mind game is not going to take it. Mystically's, though, is going to get knocked away. Just still has lead, though. Dwarf Toss going to walk away. They need to make sure they don't let these snappers kind of run in, though. Whitemane doing a ton of damage. Mystically's the slow coming out. Wow, Mystically's falling very low. It's a good thing his passive heals him up for free to 60% HP.
The ability to have that third wind is a great tool for Murden, and I think actually Mystically's playing Murden in all 3 games. No, there was playing the Anubrek in game 1, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes.
But actually, Diesel potentially getting caught out. The stun will go out. They follow up with a lot of damage. The Unstoppable is used, but they run away, and that was actually a good note that you made last night when we were discussing Jaina being picked up on BOE and the utilization of her, and how she triggers the Indomitable from Garrosh players quite often because they want to disregard that slow as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and we're going to see actually the Merc camp come out for the side of Freebirds up in the top lane. And actually, that top tower and wall already dead up there. That is actually really good news for them. They're not even losing on the experience train right now. Lost Vikings barely staying ahead of Blaze overall, but the camp and the tower exposure definitely going in favor of Freebirds.
We will be having this first altar phase. It looks like we'll have a Viking on the right picking that up, as well as Big in the bottom is actually going to be getting 2 of these. So they go ahead and they trade out 8 points of core damage into Freebird's core, but the members of Divination only taking 4 points themselves, and they actually get the first kill of the game will be that little baby Eric, as they're going to be killed here. But bottom lane seems to be a bit of a brawl. No deaths just yet, but I think they might be able to step up a little bit further and maybe press them harder.
Yeah, Eric the Swift the Brave gonna fall down solo to Maiev. The Warden kind of picking on the Lost Viking. The stun comes out, actually gonna do a ton of damage to Diesel. He actually gets bursted pretty heavily by Noah, falling down to quarter HP. But Caesar Salad is playing white main, can heal him up pretty well. Fancy Pants though, already pushing up on this top fort, doing a ton of damage, but he will walk away as well.
Top lane, once again, we're just going to have this pressure from the Vikings. We're going to have the same thing in mid. We'll have the Sappers pushing into bottom lane. Do we have an invade, though? Mystically stepping up a little bit. They do secure the camp, and actually in a really bad spot. I don't think they have the doorstops at this time. Now they get it over the wall. They'll be fine here. Diesel is going to be dove on by a couple members. They actually have the pull-in from Maiev. Doesn't get Mysticles here, but they're so low. They're going to need some sort of healing, and that is going to be achieved through Deckard Cain's potions. They don't get to push in the Sappers here, but they do get away without losing a member.
Excellent hold by Mysticles there, though.
Yep.
Not using his Dwarf Toss until the Umbral Blind faded away, and Maiev, unfortunately, not able to force him back. I do want to point out, and I just noticed it, the Vikings actually went Mercenary. Actually, we're going to see the engage with the immediate toss away. Garrosh saying, nope, get out. As I was saying, though, Vikings going for Merc Lord at 4. A little unknown or lesser known fact, Merc Lord and effects like it actually affect this explosion damage that these Mercs do. And he does have the ability to get this top camp if he does please right now.
So they're actually going to go ahead and try and get the channel onto this bottom altar. They will have the stun from Diesel at this time. They're going to go ahead and get the scroll ceiling out. Caesar Salad trying to get the capture onto this, but they're continuing to poke this out. Wolf getting those potions out, making sure that this area is prepped as the team needs it. They're not able to find a way in, and this is something I talked about. Oh, Caesar Salad getting it the last second. This is what I talked about in draft, is getting onto that backline. They're not able to do that, as Noah will get the Umbral Bind onto a couple members here. Or excuse me, Hal's going to get the Umbral Bind, and Noah will be falling in this situation, Don.
Yeah, and we actually see Liam get not tossed back by the Garrosh. He's going to take quite a bit of damage. The root, though, does come out in time by Wolf, going to save his life. But things are not looking very well for Divination. You have the Vikings pick, which means you want to be consistently ahead of the enemy team, but Freebirds handily staying with pace against Divination. And that just goes to show how effective they have been at controlling these camps, controlling these fights. Only 1 kill on the board, but every single attempt has looked heavily in Freebird's favor.
That's the big thing, is their fight potential is so strong. The other thing too is just, you noted this, and I also wanted to bring it up too. On maps like Volskaya Foundry, Mercenary Lord actually affects items as well, and that's actually why we sometimes see Sylvanas being picked up there, because of she has the highest buff to Merc camps with her Mercenary Queen, if I'm not mistaken, is the name. And I think it's like 30% or something like that. So overall, she buffs these mini waves as, and items the best, and so that's one of the reasons we see her. But a bit of a brawl here in bottom lane.
Yeah, and Lord Nano actually forcing the Indomitable Will out of Garrosh. Mystically is taking a ton of damage. The slow is still there though. Noah's trying to chase, and Mystically is gonna go in, gets the stun. The Indomitable Will's out there. Ring of Frost gonna hit, but the armor coming out. White Mane out healing the damage. Big is gonna fall on Olaf. Liam rolling away. Only a Viking for all of that, but the healing and armor from the White Mane to save Garrosh's life, absolutely astounding.
Did you catch the HGC? Actually, we have Mysticles currently chasing in the bottom lane, and they're looking for the potential kill onto Unaverted here. They want to maybe stagger a death before this objective starts, but it's not going to be happening. Maybe they even get the turnaround kill, but the one thing I was going to note is I was watching the HGC over the weekend, and this exact same thing happened. Azalea was healing JPL through a fight, and I actually went back and watched the replay, and I think JPL's life went below 10 at some point, and they were still getting bodied, and they just never died because the value from White Mane in so many of these fights it's just so strong. But they channel out both of these shrines, or these altars, and they still keep the score 28-28. It's an even game here, even with the Lost Vikings.
Yeah, still only 1 death on the board. Almost 2 for the side of Freebirds, only 0.75 Vikings have been killed. Maev, though, the Viking assassin, kind of filling the dual role. Taunt actually coming out. They're going to pick up Muradin. Actually, the armor coming through. He is going to be able to walk away. Almost had him, though. That combo from Garrosh. Absolutely. Ring of Frost coming out. Not quite catching the Rainer, and the slow coming out. Brown in actually being very ambitious here. Noah going to go ahead and keep walking away. The slow, though, coming through. Mystically is trying to peel. Decker doing an excellent job of making sure she has plenty of healing.
So the one thing I wanted to note here, in a lot of all these fights will be 4v5 in favor for Freebirds in many situations. You can, yes, rotate your Vikings in, and it's a 7v5. But at the same time, they really don't have the biggest damage output. So they realize that, and they're backing off consistently. They just need to find some opening on the side of Divination to weave their way into that backline, because as we look fight to fight, they can't get in there. And I'm wondering what's going to be the thing that allows them to do that, or are they just going to slowly bleed them out with this kind of macro play as this objective spawns? They're going to try and maybe bolster their experience through that phase. But they're going to really need to start running away with the experience if they really want to do something with this, as we do get another altar phase here in the next 10 seconds, Dunk.
Yeah, and time again, we're seeing someone on Freebirds with just a sliver of health managing to escape. First it was the Garrosh, then it was the Rainer. Ultimates are going to be up here in just a few moments. Freebirds, though, looking on to Mystically as the taunt comes out. He already got the Avatar off, though. The pullback coming through. Lornado actually separating the Blaze. The Ring of Frost is going to come out. It's going to connect with Blaze. Howwind throwing down the Warden's Cage, but he's awfully low. Liam is chasing him down. The tormenting of the Inquisitor coming out, slowing down Liam. Noah trying to find something big, actually gonna fall here. No, the jump saving the Olaf. It is, though, a 7 versus 4. We will see Wolf Channel up here.
That is a great play for Divination. This is what they needed. They needed to get that single pick. It wasn't the back line, but at the same time, they still got a lot of good use there. Diesel, I want to just say really quickly, using the Indomitable there to negate the Stormbolt that came out from Mysticles. There's just great not being locked down and potentially dove on, but they're going to be sitting in this bush. I wonder if they can catch someone in this rotation. They get the stun, they get the Cursed Bullet. They're looking at Diesel. The Unstoppable is used, or at least the Cleanse is used onto them. They still want more, and they won't get it.
Yeah, the armor coming out from the Garrosh, able to negate a lot of the damage, as well as the defensive maneuvers now. Howwind, though, gonna get slowed. He should still have this dash and his flip. Actually, just be able to walk away, taking a little bit of damage from Noah, but not enough to secure anything. And they're gonna go ahead and stiff out here. This camp is almost dead, but number advantage still in favor of Divination. And actually, the Cursed Bullet, that low cooldown, we talked about that the other game.
Yep.
Such a low cooldown. They are just going to go ahead and walk away, though, not able to secure a kill, not willing to blow a Ring of Frost just before altar spawn.
They definitely had the tools for that, but maybe they know that the altars are going to be popping up a little bit too soon. Off the top of my head? I don't know. Lornado was available. It's a 40-second cooldown. I think they could have honestly at least pushed them off, displaced them, bought more time for big. I think that's the play that I think Divination really needs to lean into at this point. Is they need to get a little bit more time for big. The rotations of having Maev and Blaze rotating back into the top and mid is really not getting that experience they need. Granted, yes, they're starting to get a bit of a gap at this time, but we're getting that later half. This is really, you want to be way further ahead at this point and really start pressing the enemy with your talent to your advantage, and then you can maybe play the Vikings even more aggressive. But Blaze takes a fort in top lane while this is all happening.
Yeah, and this has been a long time coming. Blaze has been putting a lot of effort into getting that fort. Gonna mitigate the amount of shots that Divination can take with their number advantage right now. Actually, Olaf blocking out the stop at the top channel. They are going to try and push onto Rainer and Whitemane, though. They will get the double channel. It is a 6 for 5. Slightly advantage to Divination with the channels, but only a 5-point lead at this time.
Only a 5-point lead, but it's Towers of Doom, though. This is the map where teams can go, you can be 23-18, take the other team down to 2, and it's 23-2. You can still lose this map because, as we said in the draft, you cannot rush that core. You need to play through the map objectives. currently going to be having that solo Viking in top lane, getting that sad clear, as they won't get the scroll ceiling on the Fancy Pants. Rotation coming out, but this is going to be a double altar phase in the mid and the bottom. They need to convert that bell tower back over, or at least get some pressure in the bottom as they do start to step up into Diesel, and there's a lot of damage coming out. 400 health going, but they're able to back out of here. Nice ice block from Noah. They're not going to be able to get that pick, but that will be the Warden's Cage coming out. The Ring of Frost on top of that. Bunker will be out in the back line. Big solo on that Viking will be the first to fall. A triple taunt goes out. They get one pick. They get two. Looking at Liam for that third, and that will be happening as they get a lot and more from that chase.
Oh man, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it yet. Teams hitting those talent caps, teams hitting the level 16, such a big tier for both teams. And we just saw Freebirds though run it down. The oil spills in the backline totally stalling out Greymane and Jaina. We do see the Lost Vikings up there on the top lane, trying to get back this tower in time. But it does look like bottom tower will go in favor of Freebirds. This is a very rough position to be in for Divination. They're not going to be up quite in time to set up for the altars. This should be a very quick cap for Freebirds. And then a struggle for the mid.
This is where you want to be on the side of Freebirds. At least, you know, they do convert the top right bell tower. They do have the Viking that will clear that out, as well as the camp. But this is still going to be 10 shots onto your core, taking you down to 13 core health to the 18 of the opposing side, and it's starting to get to that worrisome spot. Boss is still available. That's 4 core shots. If you can take over that bottom and continue to feed in sappers, that's another 3 that will go over, and it looks like that's the game plan at this time. They want to hold over that bottom bell tower as there are sappers moving down that bottom lane.
Yeah, and it was an interesting decision going for some siege damage onto the tower right now. No camps available anymore, just that one coming up. But they should be able to clear it out fairly well. Diesel trying to step forward, trying to get onto Noah. Ice block actually being forced. Diesel threatening enough just by him walking up. But they still have all their ultimates available to them on the side of Divination. Mystically's, though, getting whittled down by Unaverted. Actually throwing one of the siege minions, getting a very cheeky shot that puts Divination down to 12. It's a 6-point advantage for Freebirds.
I want to say I was casting a game with like Cat Peach or someone one time, and that was the exact situation where there was a camp pushing in top and there was a Garrosh, and they all tried to like block it, and they needed one sapper to go through. They were just like, friendly toss, deuces, we're done, and that's how they ended the game. It was too good. But they're trying to threaten this camp on the side of Divination. It's not working out, as they've actually pulled Viking down here. They're not even utilizing all 3 to just soak. They're putting 2 in the lanes by the gates, and they're continuing to try and get this bottom converted over, but they're going to at least attempt to get 3 more sappers in this bottom lane, Dunk.
Yeah, and his friendly toss should be coming up here any moment now. But it does look like the blizzard is going to be enough to just go ahead and burn them down.
Yep.
Altar spawn in 12. This fort down here, not quite low enough just yet. They're going to look probably to go ahead and barrel down on it, but all Freebirds has to do is just click the altar, take the turn in. They already have a 6-point lead. There's the the pool of sludge. Actually, the flip on the Merciless, he does get slowed by the white mane. He's in enemy territory, but he's just going to go ahead and walk away. Noah actually tanking the fort to get it down. Not quite in time, though, to stop the 5 points going through.
Yeah, they still take 5 points of damage, and it's not game ending, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see something of a boss play at this point. Granted, Storm Talent tier is in favor for the members of Divination, but the way the fights have been going, I kind of hesitate here because of the fact that, well, Freebirds, they've got strong fights as they're actually trying to burn down this boss as quickly as possible, knowing that there's a couple members in bottom lane. Take this away, take away that 4 points on their core. That is a great call from the members of Divination. Yeah,
great snap decision, knowing they had the level 20 tier. They're slightly stronger than their opponents for that brief moment. I do want to point out, we are getting a cold snap from Jaina. This will make the outer ring hit the center of the ring also hit people after the outer ring expires and root them. And each enemy hero hit by the ring will reduce the cooldown by 10 seconds. If at any point she gets multiple heroes hit, we may see a double ring in a fight, and that'll be absolutely insane for the team fight of Divination.
So what your most optimized cooldown is, I think, to 30 seconds if it's 10 seconds per, and it's an 80-second cooldown. So yeah, that is That is really, really terrifying because it's basically Ring of Frost but Cursed Bullet on cooldown. That's absolutely terrifying. As we are going to get a single altar phase in this bottom lane. Top lane's got some pressure. Doesn't look like they're going to be looking to do too much here. And to be honest, if I was on the side of Divination, I'd be rotating every asset into this bottom lane. It isn't really game-ending potential, but it is. If you can get the wipe, you can start to get some momentum. You can really then pressure into the bottom. So they'll leave the Baylog in top. They'll bring 2 other Vikings down to this bottom lane as every heroic is off cooldown.
Yeah, and we're going to see the fight start at the bottom. The cold snap coming out, instantly deleting the Garrosh. They're going to actually hit the Blaze up next, the slow coming through. Olaf in the top lane. The stun from Olaf coming out. Howin actually falling very low. Has the unstoppable, has the jet away. Caesar now up there. The slow coming out. The stun hitting the white main. Gonna drop her as well. The fort, the Vikings running down at Howin. They're gonna go ahead and get away though. They're working on this fort. Mystically is going and taking it up. Liam gonna start burning it down. Mystically just standing there. Get your autos in, man. You can do damage too.
And
that is the swing they wanted.
And they waited too. They waited for them to get the bell tower, and they converted that over. That keep allowing them to have 5 shots onto the core. This now puts them at 9-7. To be honest, they need to rotate a Viking in. There's only 2 bribe stacks available for the Vikings, so it looks like Eric So Swift, So Brave will be going ahead and stealing away the sappers in bottom lane. They want to convert this all as quickly as possible. If they can get all, no, they can't get all 3 bell towers. There's no way. Not this quick, as Baylog does die.
Yeah, clear now. Trying to clear out that mid camp, but. Still 10 seconds available. Let's for Blaze, 17 on white main. If they clear out this camp or just rush, I think actually they're going to. They're just going to go ahead and rush at it. It's Gray main and Jaina. We see her blow all her abilities. Look at how fast it's dropping. They haven't even started on the bottom tower. They're going to start getting shots in. If they manage to channel a tower here, that'll win them the game. Mid fort is still fine. Eric the Swift the Brave actually with that with that Fury of the Storm at 20 actually able to clear out the waves very quickly. But that's a tower shot. That's only 8 shots now left for the side of Freebirds. And they can't rotate away from it.
They can't. They can't leave bottom lane because the moment they leave and they try and clear another lane, they'll just burn down bottom. Their siege is so much faster, as you noted, on the side of Divination. And I think they realize that and they're playing harder into that factor, as this will be a camp picked up for Freebirds. It's 8-7 in core health. No boss available for the next minute and 42 seconds. And Dunk, this is getting real. I mean, this is a best of 3 series, 1-1 for both teams, and whoever loses this will be falling out of the Open Division playoffs. The other team will be going up against the winner of the last game, which is going to be Reborn for this lower bracket. And everything is on the line at this point as these teams are preparing for the next altar. Oh, this is
the epitome of what Towers of Doom is.
Yep.
7-8 within 1 core shot of each other. Looks like they're going to go ahead and give away the bottom one. Eric the Swift the Brave actually channeling it. Big though up here, able to go ahead and poke him out. Here comes Olaf, gonna walk in onto Caesar, get the stun, and walk away. The fat man knows no end. Mystically is gonna get knocked up, trying to get a stun. The rewind actually coming out, trying to hit him. Here comes the Ring of Frost. The center is about to hit as well. Verdant falling half his HP. Not going to be able to do anything. Gonna fall as well. Now Win though, very low, gets inside the bunker at the last minute. Here comes the bomb. Big actually in the background doing as much damage as he can. Both the avatars are the Lost Vikings are down. Sorry, all 3 of them are down. Actually, no, actually Eric Swift is still available.
I think there's still Baylog or Olaf. I think. Yeah, Olaf just.
Nope, they're all alive again, and they're ready to go back to it.
They've got the interrupt. They can continue to poke out on this, and that's what they're going to be trying to do. Fancy Pants still. Oh, the Decker Kane Haraja Cube doesn't hit, and Big needs to step up with Eric. They go ahead and get that shot off there, and Maev will start to chase that away, but they're going to give over these shots. Granted, it is only 3 shots, but yeah, they did lose their Murden. I was like, my whole thought was like,
on the boss.
Could you? Oof.
This is game right here.
Oh boy.
They need to take this fight. Eric the Swift trying to run away. Jump actually going to go save his life. They're going to start burning it. They need to be careful about how much damage they take. Diesel is not there to tank it out. Howin scouting out with the shadow. He is going to go ahead and step forward. Gets the triple hook. Wolf actually getting pulled in. The Lord NATO coming through. Big actually getting a ton of healing. Wow! Jada coming in, clearing out Howin. They're on the go for the clear. The taunt comes out. Caesar Salad's very low. Here's the combo. Here's the channel. Will they be able to get it? Diesel falling low. Underverted falling low. GG! Divination taking game number 3. Oh my god, what a beautiful fight to end the game.
Towers of Doom in the Open Division playoffs, in the losers bracket. This is exactly what you want to see for tournament life, and you just saw these 2 teams put their everything was on the battlefield there, and Divination coming out on top with the Lost Vikings. This truly is the best timeline.
That flank by Noah to
Yep,
end
that
the
flank
game.
from Jaina. The flank from
Being
Jaina
able
is
to
everything.
get that triple hit from with her Kona Cold, instantly bursting how win. They had no idea she was there. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely winning the game right there. Yes, she fell down in the end.
My heart.
But man, oh wow.
What an amazing series between these two teams. But in the end, that will be Divination moving on through the bracket, and they will be going up against Reborn, who beat out Necrodancers over on the mainstream. And so with that, actually, that is going to be wrapping it up for us here on the HeroesHype channel. But don't go anywhere. We'll go ahead and pass you off to the mainstream. Make sure that we always put more Heroes of the Storm right in front of your eyes. But before we go, Dunk, any kind of closing thoughts on this amazing series that we had?
Man, I'm so happy we got that best of 3. We knew going in it was going to be an excellent series. Divination on the up and ups. Freebirds still looking strong despite their roster change. Actually, I believe Divination actually brought Mysticles in kind of last minute. I believe BKB was on their roster originally, and they lost him here. But they managed to come in. They managed still to stay in it. They're in the losers winners finals. How weird it is to say that.
Yeah, exactly.
And they are trying to go all the way. It's very important. I'm actually kind of rooting for them right now. Reborn actually knocked out Necrodancers, and Necrodancers for the last 4 weeks has been the one to knock Divination out. So this is, in my opinion, Divination's best chance of moving forward. Reborn has looked very good throughout the playoffs.
True though.
But this, with them not having that Kryptonite right coming up next, I think this is their chance to go for it. But overall, just an excellent series. Congratulations, Divination. We look forward to seeing more. Sadly, we will not be casting anyone else tonight. This is our final game of the night. Bahamut, man, I'm just...
I know this series was amazing to watch. So the series was even better to cast and sit in the semi-driver's seat here and bring this to all of you. But as I said, yes, this does wrap it up for us. Just a couple of notes before we kind of, give our own end spiels here. Please, if you enjoyed the content, please go ahead and follow this channel. It is a great source of Pro-Am Heroes of the Storm. Obviously, there's the Open Division on this channel as well as on the main channel. There's also great content that Dunkstik himself does produce with Argy, another member of HeroesHype. They do a podcast. They talk a lot about the Open Division as well as a few other things within the game itself. And there's also great stream team events that are, produced and casted and played on this channel. So it's definitely something just fun to watch as well. If you are, if you want to go beyond that, there's always the subscription button. Any donations and money going into the community really helps the live events as well as just supports everyone within the community. It's just a very great thing to support, as I say it for the 3rd time, I think. And then if you want to follow us, Twitter, Patreon, if you want to find any merch or any even Snapchat, you can follow the links in the Twitch panels below. That is the easiest way to find that information. But as I end this, Dunk, where can people find you? What are you doing on the internet?
A lot of things we cannot talk about. But anyway, you can follow me below at Dunkstik. You can see it below. That's the spelling of my name. I dropped the C because you can't see it. You can also follow me on Twitch. The same thing, twitch.tv/Dunkstik. It's very important to know I have not been active streaming in the past 6 weeks. I actually just recently moved into a house, so it's been kind of trip. But starting next week, and actually I'm thinking about starting tomorrow because I have the day off again, and I kind of want to stream all day. So please check it out. You'll see me either playing World of Warcraft or Heroes of the Storm. I am a KTZ one trick, according to all of EuroLeague, and most of my friends. So check me out there. Shout out to Twitch chat, keeping it real, keeping us down to earth, and hanging out with us tonight. For all you viewers that hang out this, we bless your hearts. Thank you. We appreciate it. And shout out to my dog Sparky, who is under my desk.
Keeping your feet warm, or at least just keeping you company. But as for me, you can find me at Bahamut Gaming pretty much everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, and as well as YouTube. Those are all the places you can find me. I mostly do a lot of casting. On the weekends, I do play a little bit myself, but mostly casting on my channel. But yeah, that actually will wrap it up for us here on the HeroesHype channel. This has been so much fun. That closes it out for us here on this channel, but we'll be hosting over the main channel, which they will have the continuation of this tournament. There's still 2 more matches this evening. There is a best of 3 between Divination and Reborn, and a best of 5 to determine who will be going into the grand finals between Scythe Esports and Storm Gaming. Stay tuned. We'll be passing you over to them, and more heroes will be in your face in just a moment. Thank you all so much once again for supporting, hanging out with us. Everyone in Twitch chat, you are all amazing. Thank you so much. And also major thanks to the mainstream who basically suggested everyone come over here while they were waiting. That was really, really awesome of you all. Thank you once again. That wraps it up for us heroes here on the HeroesHype channel for the HGC Open Division playoffs. We'll see you next phase for more games. Until then, have a great night.